Let me tell you about the next controllers. Had the honor of working with one of them since the first days there, and well over a decade in the exact same area controlling airplanes. Randy Wilkins has not only been a controller at Fort Worth Center, but he's been a dear friend. He was part of the safety culture in changing the safety culture at Fort Worth Center. He led the effort. He was part of the LSC before there was a such thing as an LSC. He was one of our safety representatives. If there was somebody that I thought would be the perfect person to put in position during an emergency, it was him. And then he also had help. Now, Chris Clavin, who got to Fort Worth Center just before the pandemic and has been training ever since. A brief pause for the pandemic during training, but still in training today. And one of the things that we preach when you arrive at Fort Worth Center is being part of the team. Never waiting to jump in and help and finding that opportunity. So now, let's discuss the event. So brothers and sisters, our second award-winning event from the Southwest region in 2020 is a bit unusual. It involves a Cessna 150, and as you'll hear, the controllers do not know which airport the pilot took off from, and they have no idea which airport they intended to land. But what we do know is that they did land safely at Chandler Municipal Airport, which sits next to Interstate 44. It's between Oklahoma and Tulsa. The fact that he got some very serious challenging conditions during this and got on the ground safely is a direct result in great work of Randy Wilkins and Chris Clavin at Fort Worth Center. The pilot was in solid IFR conditions near the boundary with Kansas City Center airspace. He was lost. He was definitely under stress, and he was looking through help on the guard frequency. A pilot ended up talking to a Southwest Airlines pilot, the pilot ended up talking to a Southwest Airlines pilot who was trying to help figure out where he was. Luckily, Fort Worth Center recently had started piping in the guard frequency just 5 years ago. Randy said that alerted him to the situation, and he got the pilot onto a Fort Worth Center frequency and brought him up on radar and found out his location. The pilot was having trouble holding altitude and didn't have the power to even climb. Chris was also heard the chatter, and without prompting, immediately sat down and began helping Randy. They worked together to try to find a place for the pilot to land. Chris worked to get the most up-to-date weather reports in the area, and the only good report was on the west side of Oklahoma. But unfortunately, the pilot doesn't even have enough fuel to get there. Randy told the pilot, focus on the instruments. Don't look out the window. Keep your wings level. Keep your airspeed up. All items that we were beyond impressed that Randy knew what to tell him what to do. It looked like Randy was the pilot, and the pilot themselves were learning to fly on their instruments right there. He got better and better after taking control of the aircraft and walking the pilot through this. Let's listen as the event played out in the skies above central Oklahoma. Please roll the video.
Okay, the emergency aircraft needs to come up on center 132.2. I see about 50 out of Tulsa.
132. All right, say that again.
132.2.
Copy, 132.2. I'm switching there now.
Roger.
Cessna 23258 on 132.2. Do you have a copy?
Yes, number 23258. I see you're about 20 west of Muskogee. Say altitude.
I'm at 3,500 feet. I'm trying to climb out of these clouds. I got in them, got turned around, tried to turn back, and I'm having a hard time keeping my speed.
All right, number 23258, Roger. I don't have any traffic in the area. If you're able to just maintain a heading and slowly climb, you should be okay. At 3,500, you're above the MIA. So if you're able to just kind of get your wings level and slowly climb, we can get you pointed in the right direction.
Copy that. I'm climbing up now. Trying to make it to Chandlerville.
Okay, number 23258, Roger. I'm just trying to get you out of the cloud. So if you can, I don't have your mode C, but like I said, there's no traffic in the area. If you can just level off, just pay attention to your attitude indicator and just make a slow climb, we'll get you out of the clouds.
Copy that.
Okay, number 23258, Roger, clouds. They're saying to the north is the best. So if you can get to Stillwater and maybe go a little bit further to the north, it's more VFR. I don't know if it's clear, but it's definitely better conditions than what you're in.
What about crunching?
No, it's broken. It's overcast at 900.
Okay, I'm somewhere around 2/3 tank, just above a quarter tank right now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that.
Okay, about how much time is that for November 23258?
Well, right now my ground speed's probably somewhere in the ballpark of maybe 80 knots, and I've probably only got about 40, maybe 30 to 45 minutes of flight time. I'm pushing well into my envelope.
And November 23258 center.
Go for 23258.
Yeah, I need you to go west. You're going to be fine. Just go west. Guthrie, Oklahoma is an Oak City approach. That'd be your best option as far as we can see for right now. That's a heading at 273. And what's your altitude?
Copy that. I'm turning where I'm headed east now. I keep getting in the clouds. Every time I turn, I get in the clouds.
Okay, number 23258, what is your altitude?
I'm at 4,000 feet right now.
Okay, 23258, you should be about to pop out in between layers. If you can go west, that's your best option. If you're getting low on fuel, I need you to head westbound, 275 on the heading.
Copy, headed west. I'm starting my descent. I'm in the clouds. I can't hardly see anything. They keep on to kind of push me around.
Okay, number 23258, Roger. Just like I said, just stare at those instruments. Try to keep your wings level. And it looks like you're pointed a little bit south of Chandler. I know you're going back and forth. My radar takes a minute to update, but just keep that GPS. Keep pointing at the airport. Try and keep the wings level. And 2 Papa Bravo, I'm going to relay through you, so be ready.
Ready.
2 Papa, we ask him his altitude and how many souls on board.
Gentlemen, at this emergency, what's your altitude and what is your, how many people do you have on board? Great. So he is 1,500 feet VFR, and he can see the ground, and he's heading toward the airport.
Number 2 Papa Bravo, Roger.
Great job, Control Edward. Sir, you still VFR?
Scout 04, contact Oak City approach 124.6.
Okay, you're doing really good. All right, so he's 4 miles from the airport side, and he's on the way in.
Okay, 2 Papa Bravo, tell him you can change the advisory, and we'll talk to him soon.
Sir, you can go ahead and go to the airport advisory if you can. Fly the plane first, but if you call the airport and let them know you're coming in, that'd be great. But switch to advisory, and we'll look for you on you calling clearance delivery and let them know you're okay.
And 2 Papa Bravo, go to that frequency 122.9er and just make sure you landed, and then come back to me when you're done.
All right, 1229er.
And his call sign is 23258.
That's 162 Papa Bravo. I believe he's on final. He thinks it's runway 17.
Okay, 2 Papa Bravo, Roger.
Center plot is 162 Papa Bravo reporting 23258. Clear of the runway, safely on the ground. Nice job.
Lost, not IFR qualified, and needing the help. Randy and Chris helped this pilot in distress locate a safe place to land safely under such difficult circumstances. They demonstrated what is at the core of air traffic control: a calm, professional, dedicated to safety with a commitment to teamwork that are the hallmarks of our profession. Their actions on this day were clearly worthy of the award, and brothers and sisters, I'm very proud to welcome my friend and co-workers, NACA members, Randy Wilkins and Chris Clavin.
Reese good to be with me today. Thanks for coming, bud. I just want to thank NACA and all my brothers and sisters at Fort Worth Center. It's really great to be honored in this manner. Sorry, it's hard to watch these and not get emotional, but anyway, it's great. It turned out great. VFR pilot, he had to fly through the clouds. I just knew I had to tell him to stay calm and try not to get disoriented by staring out the window. So that's what I was saying. Look at your instruments, trying to break out. Luckily, there was 1,000 feet or so under the clouds that he had before he got close to the ground. So, like everybody else said, I just did whatever else would do. Thank you to my wife, or I want to recognize my wife and my daughter, McKenna, couldn't be here today. Love you guys, thanks. And my parents, and just thanks for the recognition.
I'll keep this short and sweet. It was awesome to watch Randy work that day. At the time, I wasn't even fully certified on all my D sides. I think we have 9 total, and I had 5 or 6, and I just happened to be certified on that one because that's the one we start. We just plugged in, started going to work. I know it's just a D side, and I kept telling myself that the whole time, but it's just like everybody else here. We're all part of a team, and we got to make sure somebody went home safe to their family and friends, and that was great. And like the words of the pilot from before, I got to pee, so thanks.